Have you ever faced a moment where standing up for what you believe in could cost you everything? Imagine being told to bow down to a golden statue or face a fiery death. Sounds like something out of a movie, right? But this was the reality for three young men, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Their story isn't just an ancient tale, it's a powerful testament to unwavering faith that still resonates with us today. Stick around as we dive deep into one of the most dramatic accounts of courage and divine intervention ever told. Our story begins in ancient Babylon under the rule of the powerful and proud king Nebuchadnezzar. He was a king who had it all, a vast empire, immense wealth, and absolute power. One day, fueled by his own ego, he constructed a colossal golden statue, 90 feet high and 9 feet wide. He then issued a decree to all the officials of his kingdom: when you hear the sound of the horn, flute, lyre, and all kinds of music, you must fall down and worship the golden statue, and the penalty for disobedience, to be thrown immediately into a blazing hot furnace. The music played, and as commanded, the massive crowd fell to their knees. Everyone, that is, except for three young Hebrew men, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, who had been appointed to high positions in Babylon, remained standing. They were devoted to their God and refused to worship an idol, no matter the consequences. It didn't take long for their defiance to be noticed. Some of the king's advisors, likely jealous of the Hebrews' positions, eagerly reported them to King Nebuchadnezzar. The king was furious. How dare anyone defy his command? He summoned the three men before him. He gave them one last chance. "Is it true," he demanded, "that you do not serve my gods or worship the golden image I have set up?" He repeated his threat: "If you do not worship it, you will be thrown immediately into a blazing furnace. Then what god will be able to rescue you from my hand?" This was a direct challenge, not just to the men, but to their God. Now, put yourself in their shoes for a moment. The heat of the king's anger, the fear of an excruciating death, the pressure to just conform and save your own life. It would have been so easy to just bow, but Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego responded with a calmness and conviction that is absolutely astonishing. They told the king, "O Nebuchadnezzar, we do not need to defend ourselves before you in this matter. If we are thrown into the blazing furnace, the God we serve is able to deliver us from it, and he will deliver us from your majesty's hand. But even if he does not, we want you to know, your majesty, that we will not serve your gods or worship the image of gold you have set up." Let that sink in. But even if he does not, their faith wasn't transactional. It wasn't based on a guarantee of rescue. They believed God could save them, but their obedience wasn't conditional on that outcome. They were resolved to honor God, whether it meant deliverance on earth or meeting him in the afterlife. This is the heart of true, unwavering faith. It's a trust in God's sovereignty and goodness, regardless of our circumstances. It's a commitment that says, "Your will be done," and means it. King Nebuchadnezzar's fury reached a boiling point, his face contorted with rage. He ordered the furnace to be heated 7 times hotter than usual. The flames grew so intense that the soldiers who were tasked with tying up Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego were killed by the heat as they approached the furnace opening. The three men, fully clothed and bound, were thrown into the heart of the raging inferno. From a human perspective, this was the end. There was no hope of survival. The crowd and the king watched, expecting to see them consumed in an instant. But then, something incredible happened. King Nebuchadnezzar leapt to his feet in amazement. He stared into the furnace, his eyes wide with disbelief. He turned to his advisors and asked, "Weren't there 3 men that we tied up and threw into the fire?" They replied, "Certainly, your majesty." The king exclaimed, "Look, I see 4 men walking around in the fire, unbound and unharmed, and the 4th looks like a son of the gods." Inside that superheated furnace, where death should have been instantaneous, the 3 men were not only alive, but they were walking freely. Their ropes had been burned away, but the fire had not touched them, and they were not alone. A 4th figure was with them, a divine being whose presence protected them from the flames. This wasn't just a lucky escape, this was a miracle of the highest order. God hadn't just saved them from the fire, he had joined them in the fire. This is such a powerful picture of God's presence with us in our deepest trials. He doesn't always remove the hardship, but he promises to walk through it with us. Stunned, Nebuchadnezzar approached the opening of the furnace. He shouted, "Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, servants of the Most High God, come out. Come here. So they walked out of the fire. The officials, prefects, and governors crowded around them. They saw that the fire had not harmed their bodies in any way. Not a hair on their heads was singed, their robes were not scorched, and there was no smell of fire on them. The only things that burned in that furnace were the ropes that had bound them. They went into the fire as captives and came out completely free. This miraculous event left the most powerful man in the world speechless. King Nebuchadnezzar, the proud ruler who had challenged their God, was now a witness to his supreme power. He declared, "Praise be to the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, who has sent his angel and rescued his servants." They trusted in him and defied the king's command and were willing to give up their lives rather than serve or worship any god except their own God. The king's heart was changed. He issued a new decree. Anyone of any nation who spoke against the God of these three men would be dealt with severely, for no other God can save in this way. And what happened to our three heroes? The king promoted Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego to even higher positions in the province of Babylon. Their act of courageous faith not only saved their own lives, but also brought glory to God throughout a pagan empire and changed the heart of a king. So, what can we take away from this incredible story today? First, the power of conviction. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego knew what they believed and why. Their identity was rooted in their relationship with God, not in their position or their personal safety. In a world that constantly pressures us to conform, their story challenges us to stand firm in our own convictions. Second, it redefines our understanding of deliverance. Sometimes, God delivers us from the fire. He removes the trial. But other times, as with these three men, He delivers us in the fire. He gives us the strength to endure, and He walks through the flames with us. His presence is our ultimate protection and comfort. If you're going through a fiery trial right now, remember you are not alone. And finally, their story shows that our faithfulness, even when it seems small or insignificant, can have a ripple effect we can't even imagine. Their stand for God impacted an entire kingdom. Your own acts of faith and integrity in your workplace, your family, or your community can be a powerful witness that points others to the reality and goodness of God. Their story is a timeless call to live a life of uncompromising faith, trusting that the God we serve is able, whether in life or in death, and that He is always with us, even in the fire. Thank you so much for watching. If this story inspired you, please hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more content that explores faith, courage, and the incredible stories that shape our world. We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. What part of this story stood out to you the most? Until next time, stand tall and keep the faith.